get going, shall we?
Huh? Hey, wait for me! So this is your world.
Ah, home at last! But there's a tidy way to go yet.
Hey, Mr. Drippy, that was pretty neat just now, huh?
Oh, that herd of elk! Enjoy your first encounter with the majestic wildlife of our mysterious world, did you?
Uh-huh. Huh? Jeepers.
Oh, Nickers! Where did he spring from?
Huh? Ah! What do we do?
He's not like the big softies just now. He's itching for a fight. Proper savage.
Let's run away!
No, use that stick you got by there. Give him a whacking and send him packing.
Huh? Huh? Ah!
Look lively, he's making his move.
What's up, everyone? My name is Keel, and welcome to my Let's Play of Ni no Kuni, rather the White Witch. We're getting started right into our first fight of the entire game. It's against a rough... They're actually not too difficult, I will say, but do be careful. You are limited on your amount of HP and you have no healing items. So please be very, very careful as we go through this. This is kind of the tutorial fight. It's going to teach you how to do this fight. It's pretty simple in all honesty, but let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Don't fret, Ollie boy. Let your old pal Drippy talk you through the basics of battle. First off, take a look at that green gauge by there. That tells you your HP or health points. The more HP you have, the healthier you are. If you run out, you'll be unconscious. If you hit 0, you're basically done. It's game over. And see that blue gauge underneath that? That's your magic points, ain't it? Well, unfortunately, we don't have any spells right now to be able to use. The only one we have is Gateway, which we can't even use now. Let's talk about beasties first, shall we? You can see lots of information about them up by there on the right. That's useful, eh? The red gauge shows you their HP. Get that down to nothing and you've won. And these speech bubble thingies down by here are the commands you can use in battle. That's enough to be going on with. Try giving the rodder a smack with your stick. Just use the control pad to select attack. Confirm your choice with X and Bob's your uncle. Righto, get cracking with the whacking. Yep, I like the way he's phrasing stuff. So you actually have attack, defend, run away, and provisions. Eventually you're going to get magic, and I think there's 1 or 2 other commands you're going to get eventually. But right now we have 4 basic commands, and they want us to use attack. Typically during this time frame, the enemies will also be attacking you. Right now they've stopped it so that you can get your bearings straight and how to work your fights. What you want to do is just keep attacking for right now. Until we can kind of just keep going, just keep attacking. Tidy, or I should say nice. That's what they say when you find an enemy's weak spot or block in a big attack, see? Oh, look at that, it drops something. You'd best pick it up, eh? So these green balls right here, is that what it's going to say? Yeah, that's what's known as a glim, Ollie boy. Enemies drop them at the heat of battle. Green ones restore your HP and blue ones give you MP back. So keep that in mind. Anytime you see them on the battlefield, grab them, okay? They are very, very useful, especially in this early part of the game when it's just you and you have nothing to heal yourself with. It's enough. So here we go. Let's actually defeat this fight. They are going to do some missing. I mean, it's first part of the game. I'm gonna miss a couple times. Oh, that's blue. Well, that's blue. It's nothing big. If you're full on HP, it won't actually heal you any. So the roughs will give you 4 experience. They are one of the bigger ones. There's a couple of the others that give you more, but they are kind of one of the bigger ones in this area.
Well, hey, proper tidy. Nice one, Ollie boy.
Jeepers creepers.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, our world is absolutely riddled with beasties, but keep that up and you'll have nothing to worry about. Right, let's get a move on, shall we?
Sure, Mr. Drippy, but where are we going?
Well, first off, we need to get you a wand.
But I already have a wand.
You're having a laugh, aren't you? That thing's about as magical as a flipping cabbage. You might just squeeze a gateway spell out of it, but you can forget about anything more than that. Honestly, I wish you'd think before you open your mouth.
Oh, sorry.
Now, I told you Ding Dong Dell was just over by yonder, didn't I? Well, if we're very lucky, we might find a wand with a bit more oomph down by there.
So, are wands really so hard to find here?
Well, time was you couldn't move for the flipping things. But since Shadar showed up, magic's taken a real nosedive. He banned people from using it, see? Cursed anyone who tried to. He scared them all so much they gave it up.
So, he's pretty scary, huh?
Well, he turned me into a flippin' doll, didn't he? Just saying his name's enough to make most folks brick it. Still, I'd rather be a doll than have him go poking round in my heart. No one wants to be broken-hearted.
Broken-hearted? Like, sad?
Worse than that, much worse. It's when he steals a piece of a person's heart. Poor beggars don't know whether they're alive or dead. That's no way to live, man.
So that's why they're all so scared of him, huh? We can't let him go on doing this.
Well, it's not a matter of letting him, is it? It's not like people flipping enjoy it. That's why I brought you here, innit? You might just be able to stop him, see?
You really think I can?
Course you can! You are the pure-hearted one! And the legends say that the pure-hearted one will drive away the darkness. We'll teach you a few tasty spells and you'll be ready to face him in no time. Sound good to you?
Okay, I'll do it. I'll learn magic.
Course you will, and that's why we need to find you a better wand.
All right. Let's head for Ding Dong Dell.
Tidy.
And that's when you're going to get your first trophy out of this world. Isn't it beautiful, Ollie boy? Ah, it's good to be back. Our world is absolutely riddled with monsters. If one of them spots you, you'll see a big exclamation point pop up over its head, and it'll charge. Oh, this music though. When it gets within touching distance, you'll have a fight on your hands. If you run out of HP in the middle of a battle, you'll be out for the count, so be careful. Oh, and there's a tiny little technique for you. If you sneak up behind monsters without them noticing, you can get the first hit in, giving you an upper hand. Of course, it also works the same way backwards. If they hit you from behind, it's pretty bad. Here's a little something. Consider it a gift from the High Lord, Lord of the Fairies. Oh, thank you. What do I do with these? Just have a munch on them when you're feeling a bit ropey, and you'll be right as rain in no time, mun. But a wizard cannot live by bread alone, Ollie boy. He needs a proper wand and all. And that knobby thing in your hand is doing my flipping head in. See that big castle in the north? Right over there? That's Ding Dong Dell, that is. I reckon we'll find ourselves a wand by there, so let's get moving, shall we? Okay. Thing is, we're not gonna quite go to Ding Dong Dell just yet. There are quite a bit of items here on the overworld. And yes, this is the overworld of the game. It has such a beautiful soundtrack for the overworld. Oh, look at there. Already our first enemy trying to find us. He's like, I want to get you. And I'm like, no. Those things are rhinos. They will just run in one direction once they see you. As long as you just get out of the way, you don't even have to worry about fighting them. I would suggest as you're going along through this, make sure you get up to at least level 5 before we go into the next area, okay? I'm probably going to stay about level 3, honestly, because I like to be a little risky. He really wants to, like, fight me, doesn't he? We might give him the pleasure here in just a minute. Let's get our first item. It's actually right here, this little glowing spot. These little glowing spots, you can pick them up. They will come back, actually. They'll come back after a little bit, so if you want to come back and get those little glowing spots, come back and get them. I would suggest just getting them once for now, though. So that's our first one, and I'll show you where the second one is. Right here is one in this little patch of grass. You get 2 slices of pie. That'll be useful for something a little bit later. I would just go ahead and grab it, though. It's right here in this patch of grass. Ding Dong Dell is right there in case you can't see it. You see that little glowing spot right up there on that mountain? That's our next destination. And for our trebles, we get a plainswort flowers. So that'll be useful for something a little bit later as well. A lot of these items will be useful for later. Oh, here's our first encounter. Technically, it is a minor bird. These things are pretty easy, actually, except they're not. So minor birds have an attack called Whirligig, and Whirligigs deal about 11 points of damage. They hurt. They hurt very hard, and in fact, this guy is dealing a lot of damage to me. I got dealt 8 damage, but here's the thing. Once you level up in a fight, you will automatically be healed for all HP and MP. If you level up, you are good to go after that point. Next point is right over here. This little glowing spot right here gives you some spring water. Again, useful for something later. Our next point of reference is right up here. We're gonna go a little, oh, this guy is gonna get me. Oh, it got me from behind. This is a back attack. The enemy has the upper hand. This is a sleepy fowl. They can cause sleep, so be careful with the sleep. Just run away from them. As long as you're running away, they will miss you. Nothing? Oh man. Yeah, just run away from them and you're good to go. Level up. There's a level up. Good deal. So I get all my HP back. We also get a lot of stats on this. Oliver doesn't have the best of attack, but he's got good magic attack. Of course, right now we have to focus on attack because that's all we have. So we just have to deal with that. We have to deal with that for quite a while, actually. Right here on this tree is 2 bars of chocolate. Again, useful for something later. Ding Dong Dell is like right over there. Going over to our next slot here in just a second. This is a bartender. Bartender. It's a little sheep. It has an attack called Smash Hit. That Smash Hit will hurt. I'm surprised they are not using their special attacks yet, in all honesty. They just have not done them. When I was doing my practice runs, they were hitting me with them. So I'm a little bit surprised that they were not. So here on this little waterfall, there is, if I can find the right spot, get a sour sundae. Again, useful for something a little bit later. This is Ouroboros. Ouroboros. It's a snake that likes to eat its tail and kind of roll around on its skin, I guess? It's kind of strange. I don't know if it has any special attacks. When I was doing my practice run, it never used any. So I really don't know, honestly. It does give 3 experience. So I would say if you get the fight them, because they give some pretty good experience. Our next item is right here on this little peninsula. It is a wooden sword. You cannot equip that, unfortunately. That is for something a little bit later. Our next item is way off to the west over there. Oh, this is Whirligig. Ow, 12 damage. Yep. That's why I said that attack is devastating if it hits you. It does massive amounts of damage. You could try to defend against it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to because I was on the lower hand there, but it is very devastating. Thankfully, I'm about to level up. I think, yeah, level up right there. Okay, our next item is way over here. It's these little stars that are shining. For point of reference, Ding Dong Dell, I can't even figure out where Ding Dong, oh, I was not paying any attention. This is a rhinosaur.
Let's go.
These things can hit pretty darn hard if you're not careful. I'm going to try and run away while it's in the upper hand here. Now I'm going to try and hit it. If it hits, it can hit pretty devastatingly. Well, it didn't hit me very hard, thankfully, but they can hit pretty hard because they have a pretty good attack stat. They have one of the higher attack stats. It's not the highest, but it's one of the higher ones. But for point of reference here, oh, there's Ding Dong Dell. Ding Dong Dell is that far away. You can barely see it. Let me go ahead and grab this. This is booster shots. We will definitely need those for something a little bit later. Okay, our next item is right here. It's 3 more loaves of white bread in case you needed them. Point of reference right there. Please leave me alone. Ugh, dang it. All right, our next item is right here. It's 2 cakes. Pretty cool little area. For point of reference, this is where it is on the local map. If you really want to look at it, it's very difficult to find. This is like the best way I could show to find this one. The next one is actually right over here. It's these little stars that are just right east of that little area. It is some more flowers. And now we're going to go up into this north area with this lake. All right, so you kind of want to just search around in here because it's kind of hard to find sometimes. But it's right, roughly, it's somewhere right in here. Where is it? There it is. A giant's tooth. That'll be useful for something a little bit later as well. Just hold on to it though, okay? All right, now we're just following along this river here, just south of the lake. And there's some twinkling spots right here. This is where our next little item is going to be. It is some more spring water. Remember, we always need some of this stuff. We're going to be needing it for quite a few things a little bit later. So we're just going to go ahead and grab everything here while we can. Our next item is actually right up here. We cannot get the one that's on top of that cliff at the moment, but we can get the one, I think it's here. Yes, right here. A well-worn sword. That'll be useful for later as well. Trust me, I know. We're getting a lot of pretty cool items. Now we're gonna go across this bridge just for a second. Right there. To get a supple leather. Pretty darn cool. And then we're gonna go one more. There's one more item we can get, and then we're done with items. All right, the item is right here on these 3 little bones. It is an iced coffee. Trust me, you will need that for later. I promise. It is definitely useful. It restores MP for you. I believe it's 30 MP. So yes, very useful for later. Head back to Ding Dong Dell and I will meet you there. Ding Dong Dell. Oh, Knickers, there's something I forgot to tell you. Well, what's that, Mr. Drippy? Here in my world, you can use R change your viewpoint. Yeah, I've already been doing that in case you couldn't tell. If you're having any trouble with the controls, go to settings in the main menu to have a fiddle with them. You can switch vibration on and off there as well, ain't it? Speaking personally, I'd have it on. A rumble there ain't a rumble without a bit of rumble, isn't it? Now, I know there's a lot to take in, Ollie boy, but I'm sure you'll get used to it. I guess. See, I've been controlling the camera with the R stick. I did forget to mention that earlier. That's my fault. Of course, I guess I kind of knew it was going to happen there. All right, let's go on into Ding Dong Dell, shall we?
Looks to me like a classic case of broken-heartedness.
Broken-heartedness? You mean that thing you were talking about before?
That's right. The broken-hearted are people who've had part of their hearts stolen. Poor souls just aren't themselves. Go all weird and useless, they do.
So his heart was broken by...
Keep up, will you? Shadar, innit? If anyone tries to stand up to him or does anything he doesn't like, he breaks their hearts into pieces so they can't put up a fight.
Jeepers. But if he stays that way, we can't get into Ding Dong Dell.
Then you'd better cure him, ain't it, Ollie boy? It's time to mend your first broken heart. Mend it, but how do I do that? Well, you can't do it just yet. There's a couple things we'll be needing first. But I know an old man who's got just what we need. Proper useful I am, eh? An old man? What old man? What do you mean, what old man? The old man, ain't it? Lives in a wood to the north of here. Proper deep and deeply dark it is. That's why they call it the Deep Dark Wood. Makes sense, I guess. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna be leaving Ding Dong Dell already. That's all we had to do. We had to come here for a little bit of story, and then now we are heading towards basically up there. So we were already up there getting an item. If you wanted to go do that part of Ding Dong Dell first before you get the items, you can. I just prefer to grab the items first before we go all the way up there. So I'm gonna meet you there since we've already kind of been up there already. Alright, so this is where we found the iced coffee. Literally, from the iced coffee, the Deep Dark Wood is right here. Yes, that's how close we were to the Deep Dark Wood. I know, I'm sorry. Look at that, it's a waystone. There's useful. A waystone? Yeah, man, they're these ancient stones, see? You can use them to store a record of your adventures so far. In wild places like forests and so on, you can't just plunk yourself on the nearest rock and write your story down. But why not? Why not, he says. Give me strength, man. Because they're crawling with horrible beasties, ain't it? They are? That's kind of scary. You'll get used to it, man. Just remember, you can't go recording your progress any old where. I'm gonna explain a little more. Touch a waystone and your health and magic power will be fully restored. Not bad, eh? And that's not all, man. These little beauties will also let you save your progress. A traveler's best friend they are. Which is why you should stop at every waystone you see and make good use of it. Better safe than sorry, ain't it? Sure, Mr. Drippy. Tidy, that's what I like to hear. Let's hope you're as good as your word. Righto, next stop, the Old Man of the Woods. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use this. There's also another little thing right here. One of these days we will actually get to use this, but not yet. Not just yet. But yes, I do want to be completely healed, and I am gonna go ahead and save my progress. Thankfully, nothing crazy has happened, because my last progress was when I saved it a long time ago. But now we're just kind of following Mr. Drippy. Make sure you kind of just keep up with him. He's not really going to go too far. Do not go to the right. I actually don't think it'll let you go to the right. Yeah, it doesn't let you go to the right, so that's good. Just keep following Mr. Drippy. Nothing major. It's actually, another thing I want to say is this area is beautiful looking. Like, they did so good on the way that the dungeons look.
Mr. Drippy! Wait for me!
Who goes there?
Jeepers.
Ollie boy, meet old Father Oak. How do, you a leafiness?
Oh, Drippy, it's you. And to what do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I got a visitor by here from another world, see? And what it is I was wondering if you might lend us a bit of a hand, like.
Oh, I should have known. You only ever come to see me when you are in need.
Sorry, you tall ship. You know I'm always very grateful.
This boy.
Ah, spotted it. Did you bark ship?
Well, the pure-hearted one. He who will drive out the darkness. And Drippy, you mean to...
That's right, your ancient ship. We're off to give Shadar a right royal hiding.
You? Why? As reckless as ever, I see. Very well. You shall have my aid. But first, we had better give the boy a familiar, had we not?
Oh, yeah. Clean forgot I did. He's right, Dolly boy. It might be a bit early, but I suppose we better teach you how to conjure up familiars, innit?
Familiars?
Yep, familiars. You're in our world, you can magic up little fighting creatures from your heart, see? They're called familiars. Where we're going, the beasties are only going to get bigger and meaner. So, you're going to need a helping hand, or claw, or beak, or tentacle.
Can I really do it?
Well, there's only one way to find out. You want to help your mum, don't you?
Sure I do.
Well then, grab your wizard's companion and turn to the page marked Form Familiar.
But Mr. Drippy, there's no spell named Form Familiar here. You what? The boy is correct. Look at his wizard's companion. It would seem that it is missing more than a few of its pages. Really? Knickers. So does that mean I can't cast the spell? Ho, I'm not as powerless as that, young man. Oliver, was it? Let me see now. Form Familiar. Ah, yes. A gift from me to you, young Oliver. You received a page describing the Form Familiar page, or spell. Yes, the old Father Oak just gave us the spell Form Familiar. Thank you very much, old Father Oak. But simply possessing the page for a particular spell is no guarantee you'll be able to make use of it. Some spells are simply not meant for certain wizards, such as life. Don't worry about that for now, Mun. Just give Form Familiar a go, will you? Sure thing, Mr. Drippy. And so, Form Familiar? Give it a go.
What's this?
That's tidy work, Ollie boy. Look at that. A warrior from your very own heart. A familiar.
This is a familiar?
That's right. The fighting spirit inside you made flesh. A soldier of your soul.
And he can really help me fight? Huh? Ouch! That was a mean trick.
And the stronger you get, the harder he's gonna hit as well.
Wow.
So this is a familiar, huh? And he'll be coming with us. Indeed he will, Ollie boy. The more the merrier, ain't it? Here, you'd better give the little fellow a name, eh? Alright, so now we get to name him. Now, I'm not really going to name them too much. I don't really have the best of knowledge for nicknames on these. So I'm just going to leave them to their names for might. So this is a mighty. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. There are a couple that I might go ahead and nickname, but this one I'm going to leave. Oliver, we cannot let you set off into the wild with only that withered wand in your hand. Let me give you some spells to aid you in battle. The first is the restorative incantation known as Healing Touch. Yay! Healing Touch is a spell that heals you in or out of battle. Thank God we finally got a healing spell. Tidy! That's the most useful spell there is for wandering adventurer. Cuts, bruises, sprains, gashes, all gone in a jiffy with Healing Touch. Gee, you make it sound like I'm gonna get hurt an awful lot, Mr. Drippy. Next, I'll give you the gift of the Blazing Inferno, Fireball. Shoots a little ball of fire, that one does. Plant-based beasties, flipping hate fire, mun. Even old Treeface here is scared of Fireball. Drippy, how dare you? You would never aim such a spell at me, would you, boy? Golly, of course not, old Father Oak. And then we got Fireball. Now, boy, you can press square at any time to open your spells menu. While a spell like Healing Touch can be used at any time, Fireball is meant primarily for use in battle. That said, the most unexpected of spells can prove incomparably useful given the right set of circumstances. Novel problems call for novel solutions after all. If you find yourself at something of loss, I recommend that you go through your magical repertoire. You never know what spells might save the day. And so now we get the spells menu.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
Spoiling for a fight, is it? Better give him what he wants, Ollie boy.
Huh? But what do I do?
Just think what you want him to do and he'll do it. It's as easy as falling off a log, man.
Okay. Just think what I want him to do. Here goes.
Alright, so now we're going to go up against some teeny boppers. Now, this is where we're going to be learning about how to fight with familiars instead of just Ollie. And this is where things get a little bit more complicated. Yes, the battle system gets more complicated as we go along. It's not as easy as it seemed. Gotta pick who's going to fight out of you and your little friend. We've gone to the trouble of making him, so we better give him a go, huh? Select him, will ya? This is where you select either Oliver or Mighty. Mighty has no HP but a stamina bar, okay? We'll go into more detail about that later. Now let's send him into the fray, shall we? See the circle in the top left there? That's your familiar stamina gauge. What that does is it shows you how much longer he can fight for, see? The longer you keep him on the go, the shorter his stamina gauge will get. When it's empty, that means the poor lad's so tired he can't fight anymore. Tragic, eh? Before that happens, you have to call him back to you for a bit of a rest, like. Oh, and there's something else about familiar you should know. Is that little mark by there? That's his sign. It's sort of like a star sign, except there's only 4 of them. Sun, moon, star, and planet. And like star signs, different ones get on better. You can use that to help you in battle. Next, let's talk about tricks. They're proper, powerful abilities, a bit like your spells. And just like spells, they cost MP to use. Oh, you can see the cost written next to them. Ugh! God, I didn't realize it was 10! But what you've got to remember is that you and your familiars share MP and HP. So if a familiar uses a trick or takes a big hit, it's your MP or HP that will suffer. Yes, if the familiar gets a tiny bop, like if it takes 5 HP, you take 5 HP. That's where the trick comes into handy. Another issue with this is that they cannot use items. They also cannot use healing spells. Only Oliver can use the healing spells. Now, I think a couple of familiars can use healing spells, but for a good portion of this early game, it's gonna be rough for a while. Is always going down, so you need to swap with him regularly. You can do that anytime you like by pressing L1, ain't it? It's going to I'm going to stop talking before I put us both to sleep. It's your turn to sing for your supper. Go on, boy. All right, here we go. We're just going to attack. I'm not going to cut loose because I don't want to waste my MP. I'm only dealing 1 damage, unfortunately. But you notice that I'm taking quite a bit of HP here. There's a gold. There's a green. I want that green. Oh, there. Cool. I'm glad that that green came out because I definitely needed it. I really want that green. Also, you notice there, I actually canceled out of my attack just so I could go and get that green. I kind of regret doing that. I'm gonna have to swap. I gotta swap. There. So yeah, pressing L1 will take you back into the menu to where you can swap to Oliver. That way your little familiar dude can rest. And that was easy. I mean, it's not easy. The fights do get a little bit harder as we go along. And your little familiar does gain experience points different from yours. Things get complicated, yes. He also gets his own separate equipment slots, everything. That's why I wanted to go get all of those items, because all of those items go on your familiar. So now you know how to fight with a familiar, ain't it, Ollie boy? To be a true contender, you'll need to learn when to let yourself loose and when to take control of yourself. I'll do my best, Mr. Drippy. Oh, and when he's not fighting, the little fella can be found taking it easy in the creature cage. In the creature cage, you can shower your faithful familiars with delicious treats. There are all kinds of treats to choose from. Some will improve their abilities, and there's others that can even teach them new tricks. Feed the little blighters enough of what they fancy, and the bonds of familiarity between you will grow, meaning you can boost their abilities even more. Careful not to stuff them too full of sweets, though. They'll only end up getting full up. Wow, that made no sense. Adoration and moderation, that's the key. It's probably a lot to get your head around, but just remember that the creature cage is where you look after your familiars and take it from there, ain't it? The creature cage. Got it. I promise to look after him real well, Mr. Drippy. Almost forgot. We had something we wanted to ask you, your trunkiness. There's a guard down in Ding Dong Dell, and he's brokenhearted, see? Brokenhearted, you say? Shadar's evil spreads still further, so you will be needing... That we will, your oakiness. There's quick you are. You still have got it, ain't you? Oh, patience, young Drippy, of course I have. Let me see now. I know it's here somewhere. Cracky, you've gone and lost it, have you? Lost it? The insolence! I put it away safely among my uppermost branches. It's just a little tangled up there, that's all. Ah, while I seek it out, I have a favor to ask of you. Well, I did mention we're in a flipping hurry, didn't I? We haven't got a time to go. Mr. Drippy, we should help old Father Oak. He gave us those spells, didn't he? Ah, how very refreshing to meet such a responsible and honest young man. Alright, I get the flipping message. Go on, what is it you need us for? Well, it's the guardian of these woods, you see. The guardian, eh? What's up with the old fella? I'm afraid he has become rather unruly of late, and he is neglecting his duties. Well, that's no good, is it? We'd better help you sort him out, then. God, I swear, Drippy, trying to talk in Drippy's words are difficult sometimes. When I'm trying to speak proper, it doesn't work. The Guardian, he sounds kind of tough. Too right he is. He's way stronger than your average beastie. But you've got a familiar on your side now, man. You'll be fine. And besides, if you're gonna take down Shadar, you can't back out of a bit of light Guardian bashing now, can you? Okay, I'll do it. How very kind of you. The Guardian can be found in the deepest part of the wood, beyond the Whispering Waterfalls. I wish you luck. So we got our first little mission. I guess I am. Now then, why don't you take a closer look at your new mate, eh? How do I do that, Mr. Drippy? It's a piece of cake, man. Now listen up. If you look in the main menu, you'll see friends and familiars. That's where you'll find all sorts of details about you and your familiar's abilities. It looks a bit complicated, and there are a few fair options kicking about in there, to be fair, but you'll soon get the hang of it, man. Now, you're still new to this wizarding lark, so there's a limit to what you can do, ain't it? Keep fighting monsters and eventually you'll get stronger. We call that leveling up. You'll probably make some new mates along the way and all, so be sure to take a closer look at them, like I showed you. You got it, Mr. Drippy. Why am I having so difficult time with his words? So yeah, this is the creature cage. This is him. He's cool. We could give him some treats. I don't want to actually give him treats. This is what I want to do here. I actually want to give him the well-worn sword that we got. We didn't find a shield. Oh, he's a patch. Also, Oliver. Oh, Oliver can take the giant's tooth. Oh. I didn't realize Oliver could take the giant's tooth. We can give him the well-worn sword. That way he's got at least some more attacking. Unfortunately, I don't want to give him... I do kind of want to give him some more attack. Nom, 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 nom. So we're going to give him some chocolate. He's going to gain 1 attack from that. He actually really loves the chocolate, so we're going to give him 1 more. That way he gains another attack. Oh, no, he didn't get another attack. Darn it. That's all right, though. We got plenty of attack, I think. And that's really all you can do with that. I'm going to head back to the Waystone. Heal... Oh, no, we don't need to heal up, do we? Next episode, we are going to get further into this wood. We're going to defeat the guardian of this place and probably get hopefully the spells that we need to deal with the guards at Ding Dong Dell. But thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you're notified anytime a new video goes live. And hit that thumbs up, letting me know that you're enjoying this brand new series here on the channel. And I will catch you next time.